Aí, professor, Good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the show. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing this beautiful white East Coast Sunday evening here. I'm not sure your end. As usual, this is the Sunday's editions of The Examiner. And we will get a conversation rolling. Of course, Dr. Marley is already here backstage. I want to usher him very shortly. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners. Let's do a little quick housekeeping here. Keeping Mr. Stephen Glasgow. Good evening. Welcome. Get your roast in from inside Liberia. Good morning. Good to have you here. Of course, Christopher Wloti Tobasi, the Seditions research guy. Jolie, Eva Koso in Des Moines, Iowa, and Philip Fogba. Good to have you here. This is the Diaspora Informative News outlet like Grow Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. I am your host and presenter, Alfonso Zienso, right here in this Sunday's edition here, Examiner. We're going to be examining all that is happening, unfolding, and of course, your participation is absolutely welcomed, where your voices will be heard. We do not usually talk what you intend to hear, what you want to hear, but I will tell you what you need to know. And this is what LPR is all about. Good evening, welcome. Let's get the ball rolling right here. Very wet day here, winter storm, rain, crazy weather here in the East Coast. Welcome to the show. That's the rhythm that introduces the program. Let's get a ball rolling here. It's good evening. Good to have you here. Crazy wet evening here in the East Coast. Notwithstanding, it's not going to deter us to discuss, to have a conversation, because we count on you and you proportionally count on us to have this conversation going. What a crazy society we have in Liberia. We want to put it into context. Dr. Marley Jones is here, right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island here. Let me just bring him in. Good evening to what a wet day here. Dr. Marley, good to have you. And how's the Sunday?
Well, I'm very sorry. I'm far from home. I'm a guest as well. And so my lighting system might not be too...
You're good. You're good. You're
not be too enticing as the liberals always try to do cherry picking on my presentation. Yeah. But however, the good thing is that we are back on the platform, and thank you for welcoming me. I think the Sunday has gone pretty well. It's just that, you know, we've been experiencing some downpour of rain and snow, you know, and it's customary at this time, you know, sometime during the year, you know, time interval, you know, these things happen. Yeah. And gradually we'll get adjusted to it as we move on.
I felt bad yesterday. The rain was so severe, and you know, usually the kind of time Saturday phone calls, call out, this and that. Like, well,
I know
people gotta be mandated.
You know, like people look for the listing, you know, to hang on, you know.
Yeah, they can be crazy. People call and say, well, yeah, what you do just after all, you're gonna make more money. So but I can't come in. So just stayed there. But overall, it's subsided, it quiet. I don't know how the neighboring states looks like, but it was really, really terrible yesterday. Then, but a good, the heavy rain came and washed away the snow.
Oh
Which,
yeah, that was the good part.
yeah, that was a good thing about it. Okay, boys, have you yet,
Uh,
Ali? You want to pick up your call?
yeah, just 1 minute. Yeah.
Okay, let me just move you, and then you want to make sure you don't want to go say something if people hear you. Mr. Diat, Brian, good to have you. James is in the house. We're going to activate this line here in as soon as possible time because a lot is going. My man, Going Archie is in the house as well. It's just crazy inside Liberia. I'm not sure what's going on, but we're going to be discussing that. And of course, the examiner going to look at everything, starting from in our own community and what is going on. But for those of you, to our many followers, you know, one of our prime time members, um, Mrs. Clark Frederick Esther or Clark, daughter passed away, I believe, in the suburb of Pennsylvania area. Again, our prayers and thought goes out for those of you who are regular followers and listeners of LPR. She's one of the persons that is actively engaged, whether we agree or disagree with her. But her voice is very forceful, going through a very tough time here, in our prayer and thought goes out to her. And that's one of the reasons that you have not seen her on this network of late. We are in prayer with her. Big daughter at the age 27, who will be celebrating her birthday, by the way, in a few weeks' time, March 2nd, passed away last Friday. I had a chat with her, spoke with her husband briefly, and the homegoing ceremony will be on the 28th of this month. For those of you within the Phillips suburb area, I'm doing it out of my own volitions. It's not, I am not being authorized, but I'm just trying to put that because we got a consent as well to announce this. We can't just get and say something here. We have some strict policy that we try to follow. We are not like the majority black who just do stuff, anything they want to do because they enjoy some sort of immediately. That's not who we are. We got to get your consent, even be it your birthday. Other people like to keep things private, so we understand the privacy aspect, especially when it comes into this country here. So we want to take this time for plea for those of you who know her or friendly with her on Facebook. Please rally support so you can send her a word of encouragement, support. It's tough. 27 years old daughter, and understand the other child is sick in the hospital. Can you imagine these kind of things just kind of like crowded on one person? That's just too heavy to handle. But I would pray that the Almighty God will console her and her entire family, to the husband, Achimo, very decent people. I've never met them for the first time. And I hope I'm trying to do everything possible that it's time to also, we have to be reciprocal in terms of maintaining relationship, to cement those relationships. This is someone who is always here on this network to contribute, knowing what's going on in her country. She wants to know, she wants to be engaged, she wants to get involved, she wants to express a view or opinion, objectively, whether you agree or disagree. So we are created as sort of family to union here. And beyond that, she and her husband has been very much supportive, which is cardinal to mention. I remember a couple of one or two fundraisers. We don't usually throw cash out here, but sooner or later we'll start, but we want to do it for the best reason. I'm not sure, Dr. Male, just give me a thumbs up if you're ready for me to bring you in. Just do your thumbs and I will know. And the contributor here immensely. It takes a lot for people to trust or confide into people that you don't know, and not just by we interface. It's just insufficient. People work hard for their money, and for them to trust you. One was 3 years ago that I vividly remember during our fundraiser to the students at the time in Morocco. Remember there was issue with their tuition. And there was a conversation, a huge one on the social media. People wanted them to go home, to return home. I would say, yes, going home, not the thing. And people kind of put them down. Well, they're not doing anything, let them go home. That's not just auto. And you listen to one of the young fellow that I hosted here a couple of days ago, who at the end of the day went to South Africa and graduated from one of the prestigious university, a master's and working on his PhD. What could possibly happen so we just allow them to go? So her family contributed significantly, a little over $2,000 our raise. We sent that, and that took them to at least cover us something. And I remember again, the last one was the elections, where we wanted our reporters to help with, stuff. You just throw it out there, and by the time we look, that's also a contribution came from them. So that is huge. It's a connection. And so we as an institution, we do not usually give, but we also rally, and we told them to whatever information in terms of getting it out there, we are willing to do that at no cost, that our own way of giving too. So it's reciprocal. When people thought of you in time of none, you should also do the same. So we hope to do that. And for those of you, I'm considering seriously, honestly, to make time to go there. That would be the opportunity to also see them as a family. In time of desperation, in time of need, this is where you can answer the 3 a.m. call. And I believe this is one of the times to answer this 4 a.m. call to show support and rally around Mr. Orton and Mrs. Clark and going through this sort of tough time. I know what it means. Losing your daughter, your son, your mother, your father, brother, sister, that's immediate. It's a tough thing to go through. So again, our prayers and talk out to these people. Okay, having said that, let's get the ball rolling. And we say congratulations to our own man, the lover boy. I'm not sure whether he's still going to maintain the lover boy. The lover boy yesterday in the wet East Coast weather. Guess what? He was making it right. He marched through the air yesterday, but he said he wanted to keep it private. He wanted to keep it a surprise, which is okay. But I asked him, can we still call you a lover boy? He said that his brand name. So he's going to keep that. I would say congratulations to Mazola Gisi of Lpr Philadelphia PA Bureau, host of Dancing for Jesus. He got married yesterday in a very quiet and solemn occasion, but that was good. Not too much of flamboyant stuff. He do it quietly. What is important is to get it done rightly. We say on behalf of the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio, both USA and Liberia, we say congratulations to the lover boys. Let's take this break, and I will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services, and your friends in business.
Okay, there you have it. That's our own man, the lover boy by Zola Gisi, the brand new what? Guy in the tent got it right yesterday in Pennsylvania, in PA, as by the way, to say again, congratulations, Mazzola Gisit, Moses Mobile, good to have you here. And the rest of the guys, Perry, good to have you. Good evening. If this is your first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. This is the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio. Sometimes it becomes controversial here. It doesn't go your way. We don't say it the way you want us to say it. We say it, we speak it as it should be with our good conscience, taking into consideration everything and making it fair, balanced, and proportional. Well, it's been validated. Finally, this conversation has been out there in the breeze with respect to the first branch of government. And some of us were very much vehement, and the actions by the first branch of government housed such a political coup d'etat was staged for the first time in our history. And that is concerning, is endangered democracy, the freedom, people's civil liberties. You know it, I know it. We felt and we strongly still believe in the actions recently by this self-imposed speaker, the guy who from RJ Hotel, the ran within Street Capitol Hill, put his left hand up and to take office, has validated everything that the constitutions of the Republic of Liberia was hijacked and then was facilitated and embedded by the executive branch of government, which is a complete disgrace to democracy. Liberia seems to be a laughing stock and see what is happening right now. Well, they have their right, though, even if they felt that the speaker to be removed, courtesy of PBS. Let's see how the stage was set when former Speaker Kevin McCarthy was about, or the impeachment process, the ground root, those who were filing the complaint, they allowed the process to play out. In Liberia, that's a different thing. Let's see this and watch. Mike Gate, the guy who led this fight against Kevin McCarthy. And he started his reason why he was doing this. Let's listen to this. This is courtesy of PBS. Now let's watch this and see.
And build on the start that we had moments ago. Begin to comply. No continuing resolutions, individual spending bills or bust, votes on balanced budgets and term limits, subpoenas for Hunter Biden and the members of the Biden family who've been grifting off of this country, and the impeachment for Joe Biden that he so richly deserves. Do these things or face a motion to vacate the chair. And let me alert the country, a motion to vacate might not pass at first, but it might before the 15th vote. And if Democrats bail out McCarthy, as they may do, then I will lead the resistance to this uniparty and the Biden-McCarthy-Jeffries government that they are attempting to build. I know that Washington isn't a town where people are known for keeping their word. Well, Speaker McCarthy, I'm here to hold you to yours.
This is democracy at its best. That's Madgate. Do I agree with everything coming out of Madgate? Absolutely not. But Kevin McCarthy, at the end of the day, for those of you here, you followed this here, unlikely, that's never happened. Dr. Malley is here. I think we're going to have a fascinating conversation here this evening, and I hopefully will do this well here. Let me just hold here. Something is not right here. Okay. Yeah, I think the Liberal tried to do stuff here. So, but let's see here. And after that, we saw the Capitol building, the first branch of government going into flame. The guy from Bone County, called himself Colette. What's his ethics or whatever to rule and other? This is how it started. There you see that. Those are all folks of Joseph Boyka, and we can now vehemently say that they were acting because it is the executive. I will talk my own, Dr. Malley, you're going to talk your own. Those who want to call, they will talk their own. But what is more interesting, 2 days ago, was this coming out of the self-imposed, the left-hand speaker, Richard Cohn.
Push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today, an opposition speaker will not push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today, I'm the regime speaker. So today, I'm the regime speaker. The speaker. So today, I'm the regime speaker. The speaker of the Republic of Nigeria is 100% supporting His Excellency Joseph Boyka President. No speaker from the opposition will promote us. So we as politicians sat and saw the difficulty in the general arrest or proceeding. And the general arrest was suppressed an opposition speaker. We will not sit there and let go any further. All things we plan to do, they all get damaged. Whether it's asset recovery team, it died. Whether or corruption code, it died. Whether ministry of local government, it died. Everything they only talk about, because of Tourism Act, all those other acts that will reform Nigeria, all those things died for the first 10 months. But as soon as we resurrected, in the Nigeria, all the bills can be passing. Because I want to wait for our country to be. To never say this country and let an opposition be a speaker of the ruling party. It can be. So we better be careful use your money. We don't even use your money.
This is a disgrace for our country, and people are clapping. This is one of the reasons of many, Dr. Malley, the country is going in the direction it's going. Regime speaker. So is it a regime that we have now? This validates the argument of folks on the other side, eminent like independent mind, that this whole thing was orchestrated, it was implemented on the orders of the president. We can say now. He said, regime speaker, they need to have everything passed. Whether it comes the wrong way, it comes the right way. This is why Joseph Boyka told fanatic Kofa to the Vatican, maybe they should have taken him to Baghdad instead of the Vatican. Vatican is a holy ground. Why would this old man take this guy there? And we see it how the Capitol building being vandalized. The police did not take any action. They didn't do anything. Richard Cohn is coming out now, regime speaker. If I look at this simple definition, maybe you, the die, you're going to help out what it means to say a regime. Let me make adjustment here. Keto is here. Keto, good evening. Welcome. This is the Liberia Public Radio. This is crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't understand what is going on. And I see other people giving all sort of justification. Oh, and they want to complete nonsense. Let me bring in Dr. Malley. Dr. Malley, we now know that we have a regime speaker in the Republic of Liberia. What next?
Well, what is unfolding, this is not a strange phenomenon. This is repeat of history. But it is a repeat of history at an advanced level. We thought these type of things were going to happen under His Excellency President George Weah government. This is what we thought. Because at a certain point in time, we crucified this government. We said this government belongs to the group of the most ridiculous in our history. But it seems to be history now try to disagree with some of the assessment. To some point, it's like, Joe, we are being accused, probably, I don't have all the facts, but he being accused based on sentiment with no facts, because look at what's happening. Under a rescue government, under a government that we expect the exceptional, under the government of the most wisest president, you know. So my anticipation here was that maybe the president was going to extend some of his wealth of experience in management and administration to cover some of these area and bring these boys to book and serve as an elder in the room to put them under control and direct them because they have lost their way. So I thought some of these things were going to be brought to bear. Because we said Joe Weir did not have that idea. He was a young man with little political experience, and he was not coming to the stage, and we're wondering he's going to take the country the other way around. But now the country is not in the hands of the most experienced, where we can even place numbers on his well experience. So we expected him to move quickly to put this kind of, because this is, I will want to classify this as a national disgrace. It's not only to the House of Representatives, but to the people in the government of Liberia. Yes. So this is where my disappointment really come in. Then I begin to really question, where are the others in the room? Where are they? Where are they? Because we continue to see one misstep after another misstep, after another misstep. So where is the other? Because I now see that
where is the big ball in the pants?
His Excellency, all wealth of experiences, it seems to be they are now narrowed to suspension. A suspension. So I don't know if that's where the 40 years have been invested. I don't understand. Because I expect for the president to move swiftly to really put on team control as an elder. This is my anticipation. You see? But I now see things are even going the other way around. His Excellency making some angry remarks. These are not some of the features of an elder. Angry remarks. Executive Marshal is now going into what I call a recovery mode to do repair, damage control, and all the kind of thing, giving those guys extra job. It's not necessary. Look at the podium thing. You see? So the question now is, I'm now beginning to really question the 40-year experience. Do we really have that evidence? Is it real? Is it really true? I rest my case.
Yes. Look, when I listened to that, I was the country is in a deep.
But see, I'm not even cutting you off. As an elder, could you tell the new group to exercise restraint, even bossing this man door and going wild on social media? Will it have effect on the executive Marshal Excellency? Could we have come in as an elder to say, okay, you know what? We'll do this thing behind closed door, no media, no nothing. Or you know what? We'll use another office for now until we discuss for this man to open this place. I think this is where I expect some of the 40-year experience to kick in and normalize things, so that when we're talking on this platform, we say, yes, the 40-year experience is being felt. is taking root, is taking root, and we're feeling it, and we can see it, and we can feel it. But I'd rather not see these things. I stand to be corrected,
too bad you're not going to see it. This is a clear indication, and we have been saying it, people have been talking it. This old man is not in charge. The country is on an autopilot, is being run by unknown trap out the so-called progressive. You see the liberal here, the liberal and his ally, they will never show face here tonight. So they send your supporters and they will be tweeting, they will be doing that here. And this is exactly what we are in. Let me bring in Keto. I'm not sure whether Keto even going to have an answer to this here. Seeing what we're seeing happening, I thought probably this thing would have happened during the Samuel Doe, making reference to that because maybe it's from military transition to civilian, that's still about military. So we didn't see that happening with Jeffrey Batu being speaker, J. Nicholas Portia being speaker. All of that, we did not see that happening. For the first time in our history to see, and I will have to play this again for people to see, because this is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. That's why you didn't get all respect. Okay.
Before Keto come in, I think I would like to recommend some. I would like to recommend that. I think George Weah need to be former President George Weah need to be awarded the 40-year trophy. I think so.
Don't start trouble here this evening.
No, this is my thinking. Because it seems to be there were too many things that went wrong with this guy government. But this is one of the most ridiculous things I ever saw. So he need to be awarded the 40-year experience trophy, I think.
Okay. We'll come to George Weah. Kato, let me just bring you in here. That's the Capitol building, the first branch of government, Republic of Liberia. The number 3rd president, according to our constitutions. In the event the president, the vice president, both are incapacitated, the Speaker of the House of Representatives runs or takes charge of the country. That's the Speaker, though, been vandalized. Broad date, using, I don't know how they call that, breaking into it. No police intervention from the National Police, Capitol Hill Police, no interventions. It was on camera. James Collet leading this yet. I am quite sure from all indication, as long as it wasn't put to a halt, it is with the acquiescence of the executive branch of government. Go or come down until they can prove us wrong. Let me bring you in here.
Mr. So and Dr. Mali, welcome and happy to see you guys again. Well, we have been saying this from day one. And I think sometimes the media like to be politically correct or want to have the actual facts, physical facts, and all of the evidence before it say what it's supposed to say in the public domain. But we have been saying it from day one. President Bouaka sanctioned the removal of Speaker Kofa. The unlawful removal of Speaker Kofa from day one. In the first place, it was not Bouaka's choice that Speaker Kofa was elected as Speaker. He fought it. He put all his resources behind it to make Speaker Kofa look bad in the eyes of his colleagues when they started to bring issue about his affairs in America. Now, all the different things that happened here in America, they brought it, and all the things in the form of black and whatever, to the extent when he was elected. They start to dish out money so they can hold a cohesive block. That today they were planning for everyone. Yeka Koluba came out and told us, we look at Yeka Koluba to be, or look at that fool, he coming to start disturbing again. But Yeka Koluba said it from day one that they will move Speaker Kofa. Speaker Kofa thought it was a joke. This president we see, the vindictiveness that in this president, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Wait to see more. This is a prelude for 2029. What we saw in this going election, we will see 25 times worse what we saw in this going election. The violence that took place, we'll see it. If possible, we will see wrecking in his mass everywhere in Liberia in this coming election. And it will be a chaotic election because these people are running the country lawlessly with impunity. They are bold to come out to us and tell us that they didn't give a damn about us. Excuse my expression. They don't care. Even what the international community tells them, they don't care. They're going to do what they have to do to keep themselves in power. When you're listening to Kun, and sometimes it's good that the labor is not yet for somebody to go on and call himself Regine Speaker.
Yes, Clarence Davis and Fatu told the Liberal and Jerry Bacon not to show face this evening.
No, they're not going to show face because they're not going to sanction my voice. Because I will use all of the words in the dictionary to describe the behavior of those people. I'm not going to insult them, but I'm just going to be straight with them. I'm not going to call to be politically correct on this platform. I will tell it for what it is. If you want you in a house that is an honorable place and you disrespect that house, you expect me to put an honorable title on you, you're making a sad mistake. You work for me, I do not work for you. You are my employee. I employ you to go over there and seek my well-being. You're not my boss. That's the mentality which you have for those people. How is it that you're going to go to the speaker office and ransack it? But it is not strange, your brother. So you remember when it started the first time when the speaker was in room, what happened was they went, the few group of people that were protecting section from being here because they were having it behind the speaker and they wanted to move in right there. And then look, I said no, there will be no section when they locked the door. Guess who has slush hammer busting the door? The very cool man. Go back to the video. He had a big slush hammer bust on the door. People didn't talk about it because at the time, the media that were promoting them was Spoon. And that very day, Spoon was there. But Spoon never showed that part where Colette had a big slush hammer busting the door and saying they would enter the chambers. You understand? This has become a habit for those guys. They look in the face of the Supreme Court and denigrate them. They look in the face of even, they don't care. They don't care.
Good evening, Mr. Nambwe. Good to have you here. I feel bad for the country, as if some of these people, they just do not know the history, some of the things that led to get the country to be wired. And the people think it's funny. Because if you push and continue to push someone, you push them against the wall till they can go normal, the reaction is a lot of uncertainty involved. Mr. J. Victor Namwade is here this evening from the Garden State of Jersey in this suburb right there. So how is the weather on your end? We had a crazy snow yesterday, heavy rain, and all of that. How are you doing in that end, my brother?
Good evening, Mr. So and Dr. Mali, Mr. Keto. Yes, it's pretty rainy here. It's been raining all day yesterday and today. But it's looking like it's starting to let up a little bit now. But yeah, it's windy and it's cold. It's dreary. It's wet, and so we're just trying to stay indoors for the most part. But God is good. I hope all is good at your end. I know you talked about the weather a little bit, but this is, I think, better than the snow. But I know I was coming in and I was listening to Dr. Mali, and and I no wonder why my colleague, the math teacher, is not here. My fellow
They will never come.
they'll all take cover. The liberal is not busy. I know right now he's sitting down and watching.
The doctor said he's taking break. Can you imagine taking what kind of break?
Yeah, right.
No,
Break.
because
Yeah,
he doesn't have an explanation to why
right.
he's
Right. He's taking a break. They were not put forth. Not even the pastor Terry, they're not gonna come because right now it's becoming increasingly difficult to defend what this government is doing. Regime speaker, what does that even mean? You're the speaker of the Republic of Liberia. What does it mean? You're not going in there to be a regime speaker. We have our regime speaker. I'm 100% for the arrest agenda, and all of that. I was just saying, but you know what? God is good. Whatever is done in the dark will always come to light. We have always said that there was some hitting hands, not so much hitting, but there was some covert operations behind the removal of Kofa, and now it's all coming to light. Kun is not that sophisticated to keep it, hating. He probably didn't know what he was saying, but now we have reason. If we ever wanted to remove him, we can remove someone who is not. He's not a speaker, so there is no need to remove him. But he just disqualified himself, and I hope those who are supporting him will know now that this man, he's bent on being a regime speaker, for whatever that means.
Does
But
he know what he's talking about? Let's be. I'm pondering around this thing here. And I hope Liberal will get the guts and be like a man.
he will not do it. He won't do it.
To come here tonight. And people should start telling him he should go take a nap. He needs to come here tonight and tell us if there is any true interpretations of what he calls regime speaker. This is a disgrace. Joseph is leading that country into chaos, and people think it's funny. They think it's funny. This is sad. I don't understand. And where is the civil society in this whole thing here? Where is the civil society? Where is the civil society? Where are the advocacy group? Interestingly, the light of Samuel Kofi Woods, Kelly Justice and Peace Commission, who was in the top of Samuel Doe as a human rights, now is providing security advice, is a national security advisor to the president, and is seeing this sort of thing unfolding, happening today, and will come back tomorrow and say they want to do what?
Yeah, it is concerning. It's concerning. Up to now, we don't hear from the Council of the Churches. We're not hearing from Linsu. Where is Linsu? We're not hearing from SOUP. Where is SOUP? We're not hearing from ALSU, the Universal Library Student Union. We're not even hearing from Cutner Student Union, CUPSA. So it is very concerning that all of the civil society organizations, there are other organizations on the ground. Where are they? When are they going to stand up and rise up and say enough is enough already?
But even speaking of groups in America, Aja was very vocal during President Weah administration. They were out there saying everything that they could say possibly to influence some of the judgment that took place in America on President Weah, where I did today. I saw Brother Sandy, one Brother Sandy, I see coming every now and then to speak out. Or what the group? They had a whole show. They were talking about it, where I did today. Let's look at us in the diaspora. All right? Where are they? Those people who are running, the Emmanuel Saves that were running to Liberia talking about war and economic crime. Is it over now? Is war crime over? The illegal or removal of the speaker, nobody can speak about it. The killing of people in the country by security actors. Where are the advocate group? Like, I mean, I don't want to keep calling names, but we know them. We see the violation of our constitution. The so-called Jerome Verder, who was TRC chairman, commissioner, right? Where is Jerome Verder now? Where his voice gone down? Has this sanctioned his voice? or he enjoying what is happening because his brother-in-law Kofi Samuel is the political advisor to this president. He can't come out to say anything to condemn this leadership. They are the ones who brought him to power. That's why Kofi Samuel today is the political advisor. But you know, the sad thing that really paused on me, we are talking about Liberia, whereas the Libra and his legs, they are talking about Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai is 80-some years old. He will be leaving the state soon. Liberia still here. Are we going to put all of our trust in this man that's filling our country? What his children will say about his grandchildren, what their grandchildren will say about them when it comes to our country. If stuff to happen in our nation, we got to talk to them. They have to change their mind, or they be vocal on President Boakai so he can do the right thing, and the people around him. It's frustrating.
So, Dr. Mali, yeah, I don't know. Is there any change inevitable? Would this old man and his folks want to change? I don't see any indicator. I don't see no sign of them doing that. They are determined. Like the left-hand speaker, Regine, they're going to be authoritarians. They're going to use all of their might with the security forces on their side. But I can tell you the strength of the ordinary people surpasses the security, because you can do more. You can do more than what you're supposed to do. And they don't seem to realize that. Causing these unnecessary confusions in the country, and think it's just going to last for the life of the long. Would these people have a change? And I've come to realize anytime some sort of drama, chaos is about to erupt in this country, he flies, he leaves the country, goes sit down, change the narrative, brought in the charades, 400 people suspended. Come on. Suspended where?
No, but CEO, I will all continue to say, but let's go back to the civil society that's supposed to, let's go by civil society that's supposed to add more oxygen to what is going on. In the first place, from my own assessment, the nomenclature of the civil society institution in Liberia, from my own assessment, these are recycled ex-partisans from most of the political parties just grouped together and tag themselves as civil society and getting money from donor agency, claiming to be fighting things, the same old people. So there is no way they're coming back to speak against anything in that country. That's the first thing. And secondly, sometimes in politics, we make prediction based on prevailing circumstances. Now we can do a lot of prediction right now. From what we're seeing right now, let's see, my team might get worse later. Yes, let's go back to His Excellency utterances, the one he made in Lofa. And people say, oh, it was slip of tongue. I watched that video. That statement was made out of anger. And I don't expect the other to be getting angry. No. Leadership, when we're looking up to you, you should be the last person to get annoyed. That's what I know about when it comes to other in leadership. But here is my take. I am beginning to see that His Excellency is beginning to be more of a liability to the Republic of Liberia than an asset. And when that is proven to be true, with the normal missteps we continue to experience, we're going to run into serious crisis in our country. Because do you know how many people are looking up to His Excellency for direction, for leadership? You know how many people? A lot.
And if we're not seeing it, then it becomes like, who is running the show? That become a problem. Go back and read the asset declaration clause. In the first place, when I read it, nobody's supposed to take office until he or she declare his or her assets.
This is where the Senate screwed up.
It's written, it's clear. You cannot take office until you declare that.
Yeah, right.
So why is it that the president compromised that and sworn all the guy into office? Why? That's the first question. It's there. It's clear.
So,
you cannot take office until you do this thing.
So then, Dr. Mallet, and then before Mr. Nabwe comes in, that is also the responsibility of the Senate, because this whole thing here, this code of conduct, is a piece of legislation. It's not just a policy. It is it is by law. You should have those declarations. You can either tell them, say, I have or I don't have. That's it. They don't go behind them to go check their account. Darrell Dillon came out here, say he had $3.50. The laborer and his folks, they were all sharing it out here. I mean, these people are just dishonest. And for some reason, you know, that country is just a different country completely.
No, but CEO, you're talking about the Senate. His Excellency, his 40-year experience should have called the Senate to book. Say, look, we are not in a hurry here. I have nominated these people. This is what the book says. We can't compromise these things.
Joseph Boyka did not know all of these people nominated Dr. Mali.
Okay, let's put that aside.
People imposed those people on him, and they just went through. That's the problem.
Let's put that aside. All right? The suspension. Does it warrant the type of damage has been caused? No. Those people, I don't think suspension is necessary. Those people need to be reprimanded administratively. You see, suspended for 6 months will all pay, take some decision. But you're telling us you are suspended, and when you declare your asset, you come back. What is that? That's a political joke. Do we know how many people are accumulated 1 year ago? We don't even know what they had before. How do they account for what they can show within the 1 year? Is that the sincerity and the patriotism we have for the Republic of Liberia?
All right. Also, Jeff Victor Nambwe, I don't know. I think leaders are good listeners. They are the people that want to speak situations, stabilize. We have an old man who is now, I don't know whether we need to have a device, some monitoring system device that will censor his speaking, his speaking.
I said, CEO, can you please highlight Charo? He said something so interesting down there. He said we have 5 years to already talk about this.
That's a liberal. Don't mind him. That's a liberal. He would never pour 40 years, like he said in tweet. It's another disaster. He can't do another this here. Then he just said that he can write whatever he wants to write.
No, they're not a liberal. It's one of our viewer. I think he's called, I know, Charo.
I'm telling you, I think that's
T-O-E-A-R-E. What the liberal gave me he said different nomenclature now. He coming like a chameleon now.
They are denying their identity. They are two identities, so they're using different names now. But we know that's the liberal there. And I don't want to be distracted. He doesn't have anything to do this evening. But Mr. Nawi, this whole thing here, is this how we're going to live with for the rest of 4 or 5 years? This sort of nightmare, this sort of chaos with the left-hand speaker, Regine Speaker, Colette then breaking into Capitol building, forcibly removing things. You have the president on the other side, went to Lofa, ski and bless your people. He came back here to try to be politically correct. The next day he came back, when they want to deport people, let them bring back. What could I mean? How long can we continue to babysit this 82-year or 72-year-old man?
Yeah. You know, first of all, let me agree with Dr. Malley. I think the declaration of asset before you serve in government. I think the president himself, he handicapped that process. He came into office in January. I think he didn't declare until probably, I think, around June or so. And so he
Yeah.
kind of basically set the tune for the rest of the government. And so it will make it difficult. It will be difficult for him to now take any decisive action because he himself, he violated, the law. I believe 2 weeks or so, or not more than 30 days. But it took him a while, and then now is as he almost always does it. It's almost like a knee-jerk reaction. It's not giving much consideration in terms of how to do it. You have Al-Azhar Conte and other people in DC. They were on that list, so they're suspended. Then what? Are they supposed to go home and declare? Then they come back, or how is it going to happen? Appleton is in Japan, I believe. They're on that list. So I don't know. Yeah, it's just chaos. But coming back to this lawlessness that is happening at the Capitol building, the president really, I think there is a lot he could do for us here to resolve this matter. And I agree with Mr. Cummings over the week. During the week, he indicated, and as did Councilor Gonglo and several other people, that the president, it is really within the president's powers to help us resolve this. In Liberia, the president is the father of the nation. The president is, he can call these people in a room, just as Councilor Gonglo said, and I said, look, my children, this is we thought I supported you in this. If you don't want to say it, that's okay. But I supported you in this. But here's how far we've gone. This thing is not going away. If anything, is getting complicated. And so I want us to resolve this. Bring Kofi in the room. Bring Kun in the room. Bring even Fambula, even Clarence guy, even Cole guy, and bring them in the room and say, let's fix this thing. I think the president can do that, and I'm hoping he would do so. He should do so. But all of this thing going on, Justice basically has come out, to tell us exactly what the bench really meant when they made they declared they made a ruling. He said that, of course, Famula is displeased with that because it goes counter to the desired result, whatever it is they wanted.
Just leave it.
So now he's out insulting, Justice Basically, and calling him liquor talk, calling him a drunk, and all of that. That doesn't help the situation. And I hope the president is seeing this. It's going to get increasingly worse. It is going to get worse. And I don't see how this ends because Kofi is not going to give up. He has already indicated that. And Kun is already acting like, he's the speaker, and the president, the executive, they're enabling him. But, going occupying the office of the speaker doesn't make you the speaker. So they can go ahead and break doors and do all of that, carry the gangster attitude in there and breaking doors down. And that doesn't empower you. It doesn't legitimize you. Kun is an imposter. He's a fraud. He was not elected. He contested against Kofa. Kofa beat him. He needs to wait the next time around, contest, and win the position. Family said he wanted to be deputy speaker. Fala beat him to it. And other than now, these people, they're trying to use the back door, to seize what they couldn't get legitimately, democratically. And now they're using anti-democratic means, to come into possession of what they couldn't get. They're threatening to recall these people from the ECOWAS parliament and all of that. They can't do that. I was looking over the protocol. They can't do that. They don't have the power to do that. They're just bluffing. So I really call out.
The question here, with all of these rules being put in place, being reported, that they do not have authority, but the regime guy is there. To regime folks are more or less authoritarians. That's what they do. They force it out of Norway. Let's see. It's quite interesting. With this vote goes ahead as planned, why the president of the Republic of Liberia, why is he allowing these things? These were the same things we found on yesterday. But I'm beginning to sense out here somebody is trying to be more presidential now because he has learned a lesson because he never listened the last time around. I'm not saying, I'm not sure whether he's doing music, he's doing too much of dancing. And I think they are trying to orientate him, exposing, going out there, meeting war leaders, meeting other people to get more mature. I listen to Akara's Grace sometime, and he become, I think he has realized also most of them who was not listening, who
Right.
didn't even do George Weah Good, who left students on the University of Liberia and a own district where he going to be seeking re-election to cause to inflict injury, political injury on himself. Now he's much contained. His thoughts are becoming more seasoned. He's now to telling us what it means and the interpretations in the house of Edom now. Now, can we also count on that? Are they changing folks now, or should we still be apprehensive about all of these people that are coming on and say, you know what, we need to fund a new alternative? And if so, who would be the new alternative?
Are you asking me or Dr. Malley?
You can take it on.
Yeah, look,
And we'll-
let me say this to the CDC people. They're giving us a false choice. Either if it's not Bwaka, then
So you will on?
I'm here.
okay. They're giving us a false
Let's
choice.
give it a Sunday. Let the church say, hey man, we're about to bring in the pastor himself.
Oh.
We're forcing the liberal saying he's been forced to come out.
I know.
Watch
He's been kicking and screaming, and the liberal thing, you gotta go over there. But look, I think the CDC people and the U people, they're giving us false choice. It doesn't have to be either Bwaka or Weah, and that's what they want us to believe, but that's not true. There are other options, and I think the Liberian people are looking on the landscape now to see what the other options are, and I think hopefully, they're now realizing how much they miss in making the decision. Unless this president turns things around, he has 5 more years or so to do so. But I don't want them to give us the impression that if this government doesn't live up to expectation come 2029, the only other option that's available is the CDC. No, I have a lot of love for President Weah, but he's not a president. He's not capable of being a president. He was there. He had 6 years to do it. He couldn't do it. He can go to DR Congo or wherever he goes. He did that before he came into the executive mansion, and he didn't show any maturity. He made music when people were suffering in the streets. That's what he did. He took 45 days to go and attend the World Cup or whatever it was. That's when people needed him most. So I don't believe that if this government doesn't work out, then the only logical choice available to us is president. No, there are a lot of other people. Councilor Gonglo is here. Mr. Promise is still here. There are a lot of other options. So I don't want to believe.
Do they have that will quickly here to build a political consolidation? Because I don't see the survivability of this unity party and other people here. Because first and foremost, seeing what is unfolding, the coalitions would definitely crumble. But what I'm asking now, the rest of the folks, will it still be visible? They'll be able to build a political consolidation to say, hey, we are the alternative. And where are they now? Are they forceful now, or are they waiting on the eve of the election before their voices got to be heard?
I don't want to take up the space. I know Dr. Malley and Mr. Keta and Pastor Terry will come in. But I think you may have heard over the weekend the Liberty Party or during the week were in Basel. I understand that some of the people who gathered in there began to consider themselves the opposition, including the president pro tem. I have to read a clip or listen to it, but I'm told that she refers to herself now as an opposition when she's still on the rescue train. I think it's an indication that the rescue train is beginning. Those who have their eyes set on 2029 are beginning now to brace themselves for the possibility of decoupling themselves from this train. But coming back to the political space, look, Alice Cummings is already coming out slowly. I think the advisors are telling him. I like what he did during the week. opposition is not always, you have these fiery speeches, and condemn and do this. No. You are a government in waiting, and therefore, when there is an issue on the table, you come and give your perspective, how you will have handled it compared to how it is being handled. And I think that's what he did. He addressed a range of issues. I like what he did. He talked about what's happening in the legislature. He talked a lot of issues he's addressed there, and that's what the opposition is supposed to do.
Okay,
I believe
let's make it fair, guys. Hold on. So let's welcome one of the Boashins and strong supporter of President Joseph Newmont Boyka, one of the members of the regime speaker. Let's get his take. Terry Collins, sometimes he takes hardline positions, and the liberal and the light of Jerry Boashins try to eliminate kicking out, but he's still there. They still try to get him played. Mr. Collins, happy Sunday. Good evening. Good to have you here.
Good evening, sir, and to the panel, Dr. Mali, Keto, and Honorable Nangwe, and the CEO himself.
Why is your friend? Why your people deserted you this Sunday? Why they decided to throw you into the lion's den?
Well, I could ask you the same question because the board chair is in your corner. The board chair is the board chair of Lpr. So if he's not coming there, I think I could ask you why. Because
okay, look, Terry, I hate to sound repetitive here, but I know you are listening to you are a new freak like myself, and I just need your honest opinion. Let me be very illustrative and get this rolled out, and then you will get your response.
Push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today, an opposition speaker will not push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today, I'm a regime speaker.
Full declarations. We need to have our own speaker. The opposition will not push our agenda. Today, I am a regime speaker. Was this sanctioned by the executive, you think, in your word, in your view, in your opinion? Do you think Kun would just go out there? Kun would just go out there and say something publicly? No word has come from the executive mansion. The press secretary has not addressed this here. We have not heard any information from the Ministry of Press and the Ministry of Information. Not a well. So how can you convince me that they are not they don't sanction it, they are not in support of it?
But the man said the man spoke about himself as a speaker. The man is speaking as a speaker. So I don't see what's wrong with that. The man speaking, and the further in the statement, he explained the reason why being a regime speaker is necessary. He cited some of the reasons why he thinks that to become, everybody know that Richard Kun is a unity partisan. So it's obvious. First of all, what is the meaning of regime? I see people making it. Regime mean a regular pattern of occurrence or action. So it depends on how you understand what regime is.
So why you want to be political, the authoritarian part?
I'm not being political. Let's define the word regime.
So I didn't hear
that's several different meanings.
Regime also here.
It depends on how you want to.
You are being very selective of a definition to
something else.
Wow. Terry is being tutored and nurtured by the labor. Unbelievable.
No. But see you. The buffer chamber you were talking about. Buffer chamber. Have you listened to some buffer chamber statement during President Boyka?
I am not talking about buffer chamber. Buffer chamber was a disaster.
But this was a regime speaker. Buffer chamber was a regime speaker. The man never even attended or what he mean Adolph Lawrence funeral. He boycotted Adolph Lawrence funeral. He Akara's great and all these people and all of that because he was a regime speaker. You see, what we need to understand here is that the man making a statement on the basis of Richard Kun as the Speaker of the House. He's not saying that the president decided to make me to be Speaker because we needed a regime speaker. That's not what he said. He's speaking in the position as Richard Kun because he said And we all knew that the speakership challenge was between Richard Kuhn and what his name is, Honorable Kofa. Honorable Kofa is an opposition speaker. So when we say that because Honorable Kofa is an opposition speaker, so that is a problem too? Certainly not. The man claims he's a regime speaker, which means he's a speaker that is going to make sure that the agenda of the president, because he's from Unity Party, is met. And that is the meaning of regime. All right? The regular pattern of occurrence or action. A regular pattern. He's going to make sure that the agenda of the president is achieved. So you know, and that's the same thing. That's the same way.
Can you please look at independence?
Yeah.
Derek, can you please look at independence while you're looking at regime? Can you also look at independence? Because these are three independent, co-equal branches of government.
I agree. But it does not negate the fact that a political party or a political party can be can become a speaker of one of the branches of government. That does not still mean that he unilaterally have the power to make decision over everybody. Everything that goes to plenary is acted based upon votes. So he does not have the unilateral decision making over the ballot politics that transpire in the House of Representatives. So being a regime speaker does not mean that every decision that goes to plenary will be decided by him.
Okay, Dr. Mali?
Yeah.
Terror has been calculative. The other aspect definitions of regime, which is the territorian, and what we all know what that means. Terry has been very calculative. He had decided not to mention that because he knows that would bring him more explanation. But he found his definition. Should we agree with this guy, or it's just the same old thing that we're going to be doing here all day?
Well, let's just let's retrogress a bit. Langway is talking with serial confidence. And like the Boash and other people to talk with a lot of serial confidence that there's no pathway for him. But I think we can make this statement, one, if we understand the type of population we're dealing with in Liberia. That's the first thing. We can't just make this statement. The population we're dealing with in Liberia, the voting population, one, they have short memories. That's the first thing. Two, they don't believe in political party manifesto, where the political party is taking the country. They believe in the goodies and the booties, rice and fish and meat. You can get a vote there and still go to the executive mansion. They believe in popularity. Okay? They don't believe in so many things. The population vote, the voting population in Liberia is not sophisticated enough to say, okay, Joe, we are come now. Because of the short memory, you'd be surprised. So the next question is, has the political party, let's start from Kumi, has he learned from his political deficiency to reorganize and recalibrate to capture the voting population? That first question. And the second question here is, the more His Excellency Boakai, President Boakai, continue to take this country in a different direction, opposite to the expectation of the voting population, he creates more chances for a popular political leader to take over Liberia. Kumi has a very good platform, but the voting population were not prepared. They were not ready for that kind of thing. No. All right? Most people follow His Excellency. Why is it that former President Sali brought in Joseph Boakai? Because the stigma that she comes from that Congo hegemony was Jamie Herrera. So she had to bring Joseph Boakai in to neutralize that as a countryman for her to move on. You see, it's Kumi and the rest of the political gurus on the ground speaking the language of the voting population in Liberia? If the question is no, I can assure you, Joawea will stay behind and not talk, and the day he speaks, they vote for him. That's the type of voting population we have in that country. You can see and use the money, and the people still vote for you. You see, you can carry fish and rice. After your manifesto, people will still vote for you. So we should not be negating Joawea from the analysis. No, not at all. And not for his camp, but I'm taking so many things into consideration. All right? In as much, His Excellency may continue to have more missteps. It might be to the advantage of a popular president in Liberia. In Liberia, when you're popular, you win the vote. We have not left that stage yet. It's still there. And the strategy for the voting population in Liberia is to keep quiet. Last minute of time, you jump up, then everybody follow you. Short memory.
Keep quiet. Okay, let's bring in Keto. Keto, do you agree with the argument of Collins?
So I just want to pick up from where Dr. Jones, Mali Jones, came from and disagree with my own big brother Victor on the platform today. Like Mali said, Mr. Mali, Dr. Mali rightly said, and there are two things I'm going to talk about. One about Richard Coombe and Terry assessment of Richard Coombe and all that. So, like Dr. Mali said, let's look at the voting population in Liberia. Regardless of President Weah, lackadaisical affairs. If when it comes to the leadership, how he was making music, doing that, the people still love him. To the extent where he left power, the people still love him. And like Dr. Mali said, Joseph Boakai failure even making Bria on the political scene even popular than ever before. The people are saying, Papa, we sorry, Papa, we sorry. We let you down. Joseph Boakai fool us. Now, I don't care how many or collaboration the other side of opposition will do, the Kumis, the Tewa Gonglo, all these people, even you can bring new opposition group to come together, they will not meet the voting population as President Weah. They will not. They will have to either join with the Unity Party base after President Boakai leave office. They will either have a join with them to get that popularity. But don't forget, there's one factor over there, Nima Kante. We still not understanding Nima Kante political or structure yet until we see what will happen after this by-election. But don't forget, we are still popular in Nima Kante, regardless of what, because he's from there. So you cannot exclude Weah out of the equation. The people love President Weah regardless, and President Weah is not a bad president. The people that surround him were not really telling him the actual truth. Don't forget, he's not a politician.
See, that's one of the things. This is why sedition will always remain sedition. The person is not a bad person that people around. He is an adult. He was elected to conduct, to lead, for us to follow. So then you are telling us you are making a case for the liberal when he comes here, so that he will have a bubble gun on you, because that's the same thing. That's the narrative. I'm coming. You want to respond? That's the talking point of the liberal here. Oh, they're not putting the old man in the bubble. I'm not hearing that. There's one here trying to shift blame, moving the goalposts. That's why that's exactly what you are doing. The people around him. Who brought those people? Who they Bushy bent, all the old people just like Boakai put together? Who brought them? He brought them. It's the same way George Weah brought his own people. So that excuse is just, it doesn't add up, Keto.
Thank you very much. The difference is President Weah came to the political limelight with not one political experience. one political experience. And this is the reason why I'm saying to you that this time around, it will be a whole different ball game. I'm still independent, but I'm just looking at it from the view of how the politics running our country. All right. Joseph Boakai came with vast experience. He told us 40 years the people promoted him. On day one, he would get the ball rolling. Today, we see what it is. We see the old politician he brought behind him, the Kofi Woods, the Bushu Ben Keita, the Grispin, all those people he brought behind him. Where the country going today? Nowhere compared to President. We are first year in office. Had it not been the massive propaganda, $16 billion, bring our money back, this, that, and
That's part of the game,
hold
Keto.
on now. That's what I'm saying. He
If
had
he
no.
was not mature, first of all, if he was not mature in the game of politics, he had no business running, then he should be playing his ball. But when he decides to be, you must be mature. Why are you talking now we are about to have a divided role? Because that doesn't sound like an independent.
Mr. So, well, you see, that's the problem. You don't let for the independent to talk. You want me to continue to speak the way you want me to speak, but I want to speak on a fair line. Now, let's look at it from the independent standpoint. I'm just telling you what citizens will think and what the population is today in our country thinking about the election. Go on the street, ask them. They will tell you. Nobody talking about Kumis. The speech Kumi gave, even today, Francis Richardson, our promoting Kumis came to he was in America at the place. What Francis Richardson said, if Musa Belete form a party, she's going to support Musa Belete, throwing Kumis under the bus. So this to tell you the Liberian people are not ready.
I'm not going to dwell on these people. Other than these are the people that are causing problems. They sit down here instead of them holding these people accountable. That's the problem they're having today. They're bending their heads from the same thing Liberal and his other group they are going through.
I'm just saying,
ahead because they took aside. They were unable to allow everybody to. But let me bring in.
Can I respond to Terry? The Terry thing about the so-called speaker.
So.
Mr. And Namwe,
I just want to respond to you. You talk about
the problem with Nangbe,
and you're not going to escape
the Nangbe who is not a speaker.
To that, Dr. Mali going to speak, and Terry also going to speak to that. So you know, but go ahead.
So the representative Kuhn, Representative Richard Kuhn. The problem with Richard Kuhn is he's not the speaker. To go out there and talk about regime speaker, whereas you are not the speaker, you have not been recognized by even the ECOWAS people, the former president of your party, the former president of Unity Party, refused to shake his hand as a speaker. He has not been recognized. There's nothing this dude can do that will legitimize him, as and Mr. Nangbe said. And so don't be too fast to carry his. Let us see what's going to happen in the coming days with the utterances from the Supreme Court. Let's see what's going to happen. And we're not going to. It's not going to be legitimized. The Supreme Court already spoke. It's going to get worse because now you're going to have people. As a matter of fact, when he tried to recall 5 people from ECOWAS. It's not going to go down well. So what's going to happen? People are going to start deflecting, coming to the so-called minority group. They're going to get popular or they're going to get larger. And what's going to happen? They're going to have their own group or a section. And they're going to say, we don't recognize this man as speaker. We're going to continue calling our meeting and calling quorum until we can get quorum. Once they get quorum, they can continue with the today activity with the speakers, with the legitimate speaker. So let's just see how it's going to play out.
Okay. I don't know what I'm really going to, but Dr. Mali, didn't this guy give the Liberal a talking point this evening? We shouldn't blame the people. Because when you do that here, then you put us in a very difficult situation. Because trust me, this guy, starting tomorrow, this is exactly he's going to be running with now. We shouldn't blame them, and he comes back right in our faces to tell us, hey, this is a man, you're saying you're this and that. Dr. Mali, is Keto, did he do a good year tonight?
Well, I think Keto is entitled to his independent voice. And I think he's trying to draw a very fine line here tonight, which of course is understandable. but here is my take.
What I'm not making this guy in. He never started this program because he heard Ketona. You now can't jump into kind of create chaos.
No. I said he's entitled
not
to
you. I'm talking about this guy. But anyway, I don't
okay.
know that. What's that? Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Well, is it a space?
He's in a bunker. I think he's taking
our CEO.
He's taking refuge in a bunker.
Changing the care position. But let backtrack a bit. The ECOWAS knows that Liberia is an independent sovereign state. Whether they recognize a segment or not, we don't follow their dictates. ECOWAS doesn't have to bite in any circumstances in any African country. The records are there. But let's get back to Richard Kuhn thing people keep saying. He said illegitimate. He said illegitimate. Let's backtrack a bit. This man is being recognized by the Senate. This man is being recognized by the executive mansion. So, I think my point of contention here is the manner in which he was brought to power. I think there where I'm finding the problem.
That's what we're
But
saying.
judging by whether he's legit or illegit, I think this guy is legit. He's doing government business. He's between the president and the Senate, and he's doing government business because their argument is that they have got the majority according to what they did. Probably the manner in which it was done, we can question it, but this guy is legit. I don't want to have the mindset that in the future, the guy is not legit. No, the man is doing government business. So on what basis can we say the guy is not legit? Under the Supreme Court, that came out with what I would classify as their direction of hypocrisy. They heard a man case the first time. They were very ambiguous. We didn't know the direction they were taking. At one point, they decided to boycott on ground that, and I mean, they also added to the problem. RCA are playing a real hypocrisy in this guy's stuff. But to me, once the executive recognized this man, ECOWAS is a third party here. ECOWAS knows Liberia is a sovereign state. If the president had not recognized this speaker, then we have an issue to raise here. But the president is dancing with this guy.
Okay, let me hold you there quickly here. Let's see. The Liberal Progressive, good to have you. Good evening, to welcome. I don't know what prompted this sort of coming late. So just how you come in late,
the men of God calling.
Yeah, well, okay, well, they can call in. Just how you come in late, at my will and pleasure. When I decide to call you in, I can call you. If I choose not to, you can be like a United Nations observer here this evening. But good to have you here. I don't know, you go on the moon, you now wear all your gear or whatever it is. That's how the puppet dress in. I think they brought fire clothes and I think so. Except that he in blue, the woman in yellow and stuff. But I'll come to you.
Let me just let you know very quick.
No, but CEO, I want a minute to tell.
Let me just let you know. With
Why were
all
you
of
writing?
with all of your political monitoring that you're doing, they will not save you your group from me tonight.
Excuse me. Why were you writing in the comment section as not the liberal, as an anonymous person? What was that about?
Why were you impersonating?
Can you please explain that to us?
Torah Charo.
You don't know him.
We know you now.
Look,
it doesn't matter how I wrote, what I put in. They will not save your ridiculous statement you started here tonight. I thought to myself, I'm not going to say anything, but this is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Mr. So, you're going to sit here and allow the good doctor to come out. And that's why they say he's so primitive PhD. I would say that how you gonna come here, because that's a word that can piss him up. When people say primitive, you can get pissed. So I'm gonna use it. No, but I'm very serious. Why will you allow Dr. Malley to come and say things about this president that was duly elected by the people of the Republic of Liberia, as though he's not working? The man has been working since he took power. And because you don't agree with him, is there no other way that you can express your dissatisfaction than to be condescending to the President of the Republic of Liberia? But by the extension, Mr. So, the liberal has come. You got to give him the time. The liberal has come. By extension, you also be condescending to the people of the Republic of Liberia. And then you're going to call yourself an advocacy. Advocate of what? Advocates for yourself. Please, let us don't do these kinds of stuff. The president is working. Now, in terms of the speaker calling himself whatever speaker, that's something.
No, call the name for us.
Mr. So, you're not going to tell me what to say. I'm not a witness stand. Whatever name he called himself, we knew very well from the beginning that this was. And this is the difference between us and you guys. We come even when we don't agree with it. We say it, but we say it with respect and with responsibility. Unlike Walter Carter here telling me, I don't have to come on anybody's show. I will say as I see it. What do you see? You can't even see Connecticut, the warship that are going up and down on the bridge. You can't even see it. That Liberia you see from Connecticut. Y'all keep your seeing stuff to yourself. We will do the work. We will work for the Liberian people, and the president will deliver for the.
Can you please explain to us what a regime speaker means? Because you're not diverting from the issue.
Negative
What does
1%?
I'm not going to address. I want you to explain what regime speaker means. What does it mean?
Whatever you want to, whatever definition you want to attach
You
to
tell us, since you tell us what exactly. Why are you afraid to call the name?
Is that you think that's going to redeem you guys here tonight from me? Because you use the word regime. Okay, Idi Amin regime. Now, take it. I'm going to the West ridiculous partner. Idi Amin regime. It has nothing to do with the way the president is being addressed. On your watch, CEO, on your watch. As the responsible journalist, because among all of us, you are why will you allow those of us who are not journalists to come on your platform?
Are you not worried?
The president as though he's some kind of flagagate president. He's not like George Weah.
Mr. So, are you not worried?
The Republic of Liberia, please.
Are you not worried about the president? Are you not worried about the president's cognitive ability? You don't think he has dementia? They gave him podium to go speak when he walking away from the
podium. When was the last time you got a medical doctor?
I am. You don't know by profession.
You can't even.
Somebody by profession, somebody who the podium is right before him. They introduce him, Mr. President. He walk away from the podium. That the bodyguard got to haul him back to the podium. That's somebody who don't eat their food and say, "I ain't eat all day." People, somebody with dimension to do that. What do you think about that?
When you show me your certificate, then I will answer your question.
I gotta slow you down. See him for his skin that small. Continue, Mr. So continue.
Okay, Terry.
Well, Mr. So, it's just laughable when you hear Keto speak about CDC. It's just laughable, and justify. That's why I told you. I said these people can, they can repent. All right. Kung leadership is like a goal that was cool on the field, a controversial goal. If you know about soccer,
outside goal.
Yeah, we
Outside
agree.
goal.
No,
Outside
outside
goal.
goal is different from
But
controversial goal.
yeah,
I know outside goal.
a controversial goal,
outside of the field goal he scored.
a controversial goal that have been scored, that the referee have already concluded that this is a goal.
Who the referee?
Whether you go or you count down, the referee.
Mhm.
The referee could be so many people. The referee,
And
The
now what is
referee
that?
or the linesman,
They did the
everybody
replay.
know.
They did the
Wait,
replay and
let me
everything.
talk.
There's always one
Let
referee.
me speak
The
on this.
referee,
Two
the referee
linesmen.
say not go. The linesman say not go. So who said that go?
No. The judicial. That is why I want to tell Keto. He said the Supreme Court did not recognize Richard Kuhn. That's not true. Go back and listen to the video. The recording. Judge Bassett said the speaker. He said the speaker. He said the reason we did not attend was because we never want to be seen as people who have sided with one side. And he recognized Richard Kuhn as the speaker. Go back and listen to it. So what you guys are he is saying in that recording, they interpreted based upon their opinion, but they told them to go back and handle their own issue. In my opinion, and that they are the separate branch of government.
Wow.
So
How can
what you don't understand is that when a goal is scored and it's a controversial goal score, once the referee blow the whistle that is a goal, it's commentary after the news. It's
But who
finished.
the ref
It's a
that blew
goal.
the whistle?
Right now, Richard Kuhn is exercising the authority as a speaker that have been recognized by two branches of government. Or ECOWAS have no business to say we are not going to work. I was listening to the other guys yesterday. They say, oh, if Richard Kuhn decide to recall the people who took oath to ECOWAS will not agree. ECOWAS don't have option. If you saying that Richard Kuhn should leave his position after he have taken oath, then what about the people who took oath in our place? Then it's a contradiction. You're contradicting yourself.
What kind of oath he took with his left hand?
Whether he took it with his toes or his ear, the man have been legitimized by the Constitution and is now working with the executive.
Let me disagree with Terry and push back on this a little bit.
I mean, he's working with the executive and the judiciary. Then he said the people he recognized.
Terry, I would disagree with you on this, on a fundamental point, not on the overall.
CEO, it seems to be the horse is falling apart.
It's already falling apart.
Dr. Mali, the liberal is on the floor, please.
The horse is divided.
The liberal. Let me just say this: the ECOWAS group were founded with the respect of each member state. ECOWAS group formation was based on rules and law that they themselves, the entire membership, established. And I think I've been reading on it a little bit. If you go and read some of their articles, you will find out that yes, indeed, they would tell you that they're not asking you how the member you sent us to be elected or appointed. That's not their concern. But once that person is presented to them, and that person is seated, that's it. And they're given a timeline. They got term of reference, unlike Liberia. That this is your term of reference. When that term is over, they will look back to the member state to submit other name, or these people stay on. That's the choice of the republic or whoever member state. But the interesting question I have is: do you guys believe? Hold on now, Terry. You will answer the question with this other one. Do you believe that President Wakai will risk the relationship, his relationship, and the relationship of the republic with respect to ECOWAS, just because Richard Kuhn and the people? You think President Wakai will risk that because of the lawbreaker in the House of Representatives? I don't think so.
So he never risked the ones, or only Liberia he put at risk, right? When it comes to ECOWAS, then that's a set criteria. This is ridiculous.
I don't know. Sometimes the liberal, the man, I show he's ready to, he took the man to Ghana. He gave a budget to the man. He invited the man to go and say what he doing the budget. Then I don't raise that, he's raising that. What are you talking about? What guy is already?
You want ground in the ocean?
No. If ECOWAS said these people will not be removed, President Baka will not ban backward for no people to be removed.
But where has he shown that he's ready to step into this matter?
But it's not his place.
Point of correction.
Point of correction. It's not the president's place to determine that. Point of correction. Can select the people.
That is not the function.
Hold on.
That's not one of the functions of ECOWAS.
Let's do it otherly so that people will understand and also get it.
I was making point of correction.
You have to put your co-host in a bike. That's the only way the noise will cease.
Who are you to tell people to put?
No, but the information you're providing on ECOWAS, we need to elevate the conversation.
Why would you want to suggest that I put my co-host
so that we will be able to have quorum and have a proper
the information you're providing, Laborer, it's not adding up.
They're holding you accountable. Your fake news that you want to bring here.
I'm going to hold you accountable.
Do it one at a time.
Okay, 1 second. Let's have, I believe, Mr. Nangwe, you want to come, then Terry will respond. Mr. Nangwe?
Thank you, CEO. I think the Liberal did himself a lot of good by not coming on the show. I think he just really hurt his credibility really bad with all these bad pronouncements he's making. He knows the president has indicated throughout this whole conflict that he's prepared to risk any and everything to support Roger Coon. So for you to sit here and say you think he will raise his Liberia when they go to ECOWAS, of course he has. When the people came down, he refused to see the people. You forgot? He refused to see them. He said Snow has something, whatever. He refused. They had to beg him before he saw the people. Now people say they're going to withdraw the people from ECOWAS. He will stop them. No, he won't. He will not stop them. But let me just say this. Before you came on the show, my young brother here,
guys, please hold on 1 second.
And I have a lot of respect for him, but when he said those who have the ears of President Weah, they should tell him what he's capable and what he's not capable. I hope he will be one of those who will tell him that he is not capable. He is not capable of being president. He has demonstrated that before our eyes for 6 years. He needs to sit down. If you see these people want somebody else to come, you'll bring somebody else. The Liberian people, you said the Liberian people, I think Dr. Malley said they got, short memory, but I think they remember enough. That's why he was rejected at the polls. I just wanted to make sure we don't forget that. This president, as popular as he is, and I love him a lot, he's a soccer icon, I love him, but he's not a presidential material. He himself has demonstrated that. He's not ready. He just want to come in there and enjoy the trapping.
We will make him presidential material.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the phone line quick, and Terry, I'm going to be coming to you. Let's go here to Breakable. Good evening. Welcome.
Mr. Namwe, this is a thing I can do, or we should get family. You look at men in power for 6 years.
But who talking?
You're not quite a partner, so you come and deal with you. Just watching.
Did you listen, Mr. Mali? What Mr. Mali said? The 40-year experience should be given to President Weah. You forget? You're not on the show.
No, why you going to wrong with
that? You're not on the show.
We in trouble in our country.
Listen, let me tell you something. You want to meet my whole team? Listen, let me hear look. Terry, look, you are the one person I really, I don't know where you can go to church and preach correct. Because in our country, you do nothing. You don't see no bishop, nothing. The country is going down to the extent that you're not seeing it. You need a single door of the other building. A single door. Do you know what it costs? You got power in your hand. You say, okay, the three branches of the Speaker Kum. Why? How long it take to go to Cuba House and resident all the keys for him? Say you want to do it. When you go to the house and resident, you say all the car for him, say all the together for him, and resident and put in jail and take a key from him, go open the door. It's not for the 3 doors, 4 doors, all the offices. One piece of door, do you know how much it costs? You know on the street hungry. You're looking for food. But you guys find the door, and you go take a lot of money again, go face. You see that here? They see your phone when I country, they say that. Everybody in your country, they have to put available for the permanent table. Because the country is to the extent that nobody, no one understands. You see what is happening? You took my experience.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's no experience.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He friendly with Mali tonight now because he said they're going to get you. We are in big trouble in our country. This is unbelievable. Let's bring in Elvis from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Elvis, good evening.
Good evening to you, Mr. Soul, and hello to the other panelists.
I'll see you.
I just want to say, look, Terry, my brother, I will give you a pass. I think you completed a word, regimen and regime, 2 different words. A regimen is something that a regime is usually authoritarian administration, usually one that has to do with government. So when men say regime, people use regime during military dictatorship. You can say something don't have a regime, Charles Taylor had a regime. But usually when you're talking about really democratic government, you don't use that term because it knows that the government is authoritarian or dictatorial. So that's the wrong word for Cohen to use. But perhaps he meant it because he's telling you that they're trying to take the speaker position by force because it's in their best interest to do so because all their agenda will be passed easily. I think one of the laws that the House and the Senate should look to pass is that if it's not already illegal, it should be explicitly illegal that if anybody try to use money to influence voting in the House or in the Senate, that person should be prosecuted for it. Because I think it's become well accepted now. You can influence your colleagues by giving them benefits for their constituents, by giving them things in certain bills that will benefit their constituents. We do that here in the United States. But nobody will ever go to a senator and say, let me give you $15,000 so you can vote for me as speaker. Kevin McCarthy would never do that. The current speaker, Mike Johnson, would have never done that. It's illegal, blatantly illegal. So for me, I think what President Boyka is doing the same old thing and being more militant, being more gangster in the way that he moves in the political sphere. So for Terry, who is a pastor, when he come and be a church, politics, I'm sure. When he goes to the church, when he can tell people the end justified, do whatever you want to do to get the end result that you want, in life. So maybe when you come in, you're not a pastor. Maybe when you come in, you're only looking at things through a political lens. But it's insulting to some of us who have one sense of little sense in our brain when Terry try to use words and use the complete opposite, definition of the word and think that we won't catch on to it. It's insulting to our intelligence.
Okay.
For having me.
Yeah, but I told you, I said, Terry did that purposely after talking to a liberal and he decided, he knows what it means, but he decided to ignore it because he knows we're going to have it. Okay, let's come to it. Mr. Collins, respond to that. You are muted. Terry, you are muted.
I like Elvis. Elvis is one of those that I would say is independent, not Keto.
Sorry, hold on. I will bring you on. Sorry, I mistaken.
Because Elvis speaks true on many occasions. All right. But let me educate. I don't want to say educate, but let me give you more information.
That's okay. You are
Go
enlightened.
back to the dictionary to this familiar dictionary, Merriam-Webster. It would give you several meanings to the word regime. And it is true that regiment is a synonymous word to regime. Is the same. There are several synonymous words: administration, authority, governance, government, jurisdiction, regime, rule. So, regiment, rule. These are synonymous words to the word regime. All right, that means they're comparable. And regime could mean several meaning. It could also mean a government in power. So the speaker could be referring to the government in power. This is not Google. I'm not Googling it. I'm going straight to the dictionary to define it. So if you have the Merriam-Webster, you can go there, you will find the word. It got several different meanings. So do not restrict a word to a particular meaning and say, oh, because you read it on the you Google it and Google tells you it means authoritarian. So that means that they're talking about authoritarian leadership. No, you have to do justice to the word because the word could mean several meanings. And it could be in reference, and I believe Richard Kuhn was referring to government in power.
So, Mr. Collins, it could mean several meanings. The authoritarian, is that inclusive part of the several meaning?
Well, that's why I say it depends on how you chose to interpret it when you giving your propaganda. Because obviously it's propaganda.
I love you, rescue
pinpointing. You're not talk plenty yet.
No, I want to make some correction here. I want to make some correction.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
Correction.
No,
go ahead.
Correction.
So the aspect here of people thinking that, you know, President Weah and Joseph Boga comparison from the CDC camp, they have the right to do that. But I don't think that is necessary now because we have a leadership.
That's not the focus of the conversation. We're talking about specific word. Don't change the topic.
Regime means the government in power. And that is what Richard Kuhn he meant. That I am the speaker of the government in power. It's just that simple. It's not something that we got to go be running around. Oh, yeah, he talking about in the authoritarian. Have you seen Joseph Boga exercising an authoritarian leadership? Wow. Have you seen that? This is not an authoritarian leadership. There's a leadership that exercises
this is not even benevolent dictator.
Branches of government. Huh?
This is not even benevolent dictator.
Yeah, this is not a benevolent dictator, according to Samuel 12.
I wish I was in authority. Certain people would need to be locked up until after the election, then you get them out. It would be better for the liberal. You get them, you just put them in protected custody until when election finish, then you tell them to come out. Let me go to Clarence David. I'm not sure whether Clarence is another fan of liberal, so nothing going to be guaranteed hearing from here. Clarence David, let me bring you in here.
See how you doing?
I'm okay. So let's hear you here. I don't know whether you're about to sound ridiculous. Hey, Mr. McGee, good to have you here. I might be in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm still should be there this weekend, but I'll try to see if we can meet. I should be coming there hopefully this coming weekend. This weekend is the 22nd, right? Yeah, I think the 22nd. Yes, there's a hectic schedule ahead of me. But let's go to Clarence. Clarence, are you part of the regime speaker?
Yeah, I'm part of the regime speaker because thank God that you are not here terrific. You know, the corporation of this show here, sometimes you can get in some or something. If Keta can get on this show tonight, how can you say independent? When you begin independent? Because Kuhn made a statement that they talk about Jota Barker creating a chance for it. That's why I made a comment. I said maybe he living in their dream. Because CDC, I don't care. They can climb on a tree and climb on the hill and come down the hill. They will never get power in our country. Yes, I mean, with Mr. Nangwe said it. That you people are getting the golden opportunity, they abuse it. So why are you getting you say that to them when every little thing you say, oh, we are not creating no chair for CDC in the meantime. And the second point I want to make here, when you say you are for the team, stand by the team. But when the CDC or when the physician come and show and say we are doing it, then Mr. Toh go there and say, yeah, we'll beat it. So where are you tonight, Mr. Are you for Jota Barker or are you for Jovia?
Who are you asking, Clarence?
That ain't there, my brother.
Who are you asking? That Mr. Toh?
I tried to ask the liberal tonight, why are you for Weah? Or you for Barker? Because your certain selling theater me over there, they say, yeah, we'll be waiting. So you gotta be, if you want to be the so-called independent and get out, tell us to not understand it. So we can break it down.
Wow.
Eugene Fagon broadcast partner.
So Clarence, don't go. Let the liberal answer your question. He won't answer your question. Oh, he run away. I'm gonna bring him back on here. He's not going. You need to answer Clarence's question. Who are you? Where do you stand in this whole thing here?
Mr. So, we're having a show.
When sometimes, when we are going down the road with labor, that doesn't mean we may get in the low down our own. But sometimes when the sedition are in their move, you will back there fully and get them all the chances and get the express, their dissatisfaction. We don't just speak and getting about the view of the sedition, but the fact that the matter, we have seen the state of the country today. Today, the country is very stable. Though we are not seeing that the country is 100%, the best stable compared to the past. There's someone that made a statement that said that if I say ECWA will not do this. When the citizens get to know that ECWA is important in getting the organization, the ECWA community. When the Cabinet Janet went to ECWA court, they play Cabinet Janet down. Even when Nessie Door, the late president Door, when he went to ECWA court, they play that woman down. So because today for speakership, based on time you getting the door that important the ECWA community, we should start playing it like hypocrisy on the show here. But when Speaker Kuhn is a regime speaker. I don't understand. I know what we're talking about, different definition of regime.
I don't know.
So they're talking tonight that bossy do this, and when they copy that door over there, that office down it's a public office. It not belong to that. It's not a law firm over there. It's not normal speaker. Why you say occupy his space?
Wow.
If you want to tell Mr. Stowe or Mr. Stowe.
I don't know what else to say. Because this is how polarized and divided the country. Everyone protect his or her own alligator. And then at the end of the day, they goes into the belly of the alligator and then they realize that it's too late. This is unbelievable. Keta.
Thank you. So before I address, I don't even want to address the caller participate in the show, that's a good thing. But because the show is educational, it informs the people, right? So Terry wanted to disprove Elvis, and I got the thing here. So when you define after Oxford Dictionary define what a regime is, and when it said a government, especially an authoritarian one. That's one. So Kuhn is telling the world that Joseph Walker government is authoritarian. I come in one. Secondly, a system or plain way of doing things, especially one imposed from above. They imposing their will on the people. Definition centered around tough physical regime. And they got here, they say sometimes, that's the whole thing. So listen to the word. They say similar sound words. Regime is sometimes confused with regimen. Regime can never be regimen. There's some kind of confused with regimen. Regime is regime. It's a territorial. So you cannot come say something about Richard Kuhn. Richard Kuhn, apparently he misspoke, but he didn't mean to say, maybe he want to say, I'm a speaker of the government. I support this government, and that's my speaker. As a speaker, I support the government. Instead of saying he's a regime speaker or I'm a unity party speaker, instead of saying regime, because now it's telling us that Joseph Walker government is
you're reading from a different dictionary.
Let me get a word here, and then I'm getting a message here from the former government official, not the Helen Johnson, not George Weah, not Joseph Boyka, and Dr. Mali. I'm gonna say, because some people listen to us, and some people quietly decide to say, okay, in a country that has a history of brutal regimes, Tubman, Tubber, Doe, Taylor, Weah, and now Boyka, who evaporated, washed his party and the legislative Congress and government into corruption, regimes mix or evoke a reenactment of unfavorable dream of the country. These are more like semblance or some sort of visible things that you see, Regine. So that goes back to it. Okay, yeah, it's being endorsed by the president. So they know it. We saw the workings of the first branch of government, though. Yes, it is true. Every leader wants to have the speaker on their side, but that has to be done properly. That is the argument. There's a process involved. All of these processes were ignored. The seat wasn't declared vacant. It has to go like 60 days. People should be given the opportunity. Even the accuser should be given the opportunity. We saw that playing out. Even as much it was terrible here, we saw that playing out with Kevin McCarthy. What ridiculous is might get the guy who led this whole charges to the extent was nominated Donald Trump, then former president at the time, but yet instead, the clerk of the House, there was a process instituted. Votes were counted. People were given the opportunity to get their side of the story. The Liberal doesn't want to hear it, and this is why he get his face down now, because what I'm talking, it doesn't sound right to him, and that's who he is. Dr. Mali, when we have this sort of thing here, is it fair to say then it's actually the regime, and we know how the regime runs. It reflects us on military leaders, people who lead with iron hand, people who say, I want it done now, and I mean now, and it has to be executed. So on the other hand, if you look at it historically, where we are as a people, as a nation, then Richard Kuhn is right. And because who knows, he's taking some instruction from the higher up. Say it, and who like it or not, they take it or leave it.
Yes, I think the panelists, I think the speaker elect.
Speaker elect?
Yeah, he was elected and he's recognized by the executive and the Senate. So I don't know what you're trying to ask me that question. So what I want to say here is that the war regime is not frequently heard in democracy. It frequently heard in the autocratic government, like military government thing. So I think like what Kato said, the man was in his militancy mood, and he decided to invoke that kind of a militancy term, regime. You see, in democracy, that word is not really spoken most of the time. We know that. We talk about government, the government, the government. You see, so the regime thing is mostly close to the autocratic government, like a military government, people that take over. You know, most of the time, that this what I have already come to see most of the time. You see, so it's mostly close to the two broad category of thing, democratic or autocratic. But it's mostly leaning on this autocratic side most of the time. So I don't even know in what context whether guy presenting this whole thing, maybe speaking for the government, would have been more appropriate in my thinking than what he really said. But I really wanted to address a few things here back to liberal. I want to refer to Article 91, ECOWAS Treaty, and Article 3 of ECOWAS aims and objective, promote cooperation, integration, establish economic union, foster relationship among members. So when we try to argue on the issue of Kabina journey, let's take it for instance, government is continuity. Since we did not do it, now His Excellency President Bouaka took over. Why ECOWAS did not send army to enforce the rule? Because Liberia is a sovereign state. So the question now is, why His Excellency had not called upon the horse to allow fair play or transparency to take place in this guy case? Why? Government is continuity. You see? So what we're seeing here is this. There will continue to be missteps there will always be mistake in all government. Somebody said Liberia was not stable under Weah. I want to debunk that. Liberia was stable under Helen Johnson Sirleaf. Liberia was stable. We had a fragile stability anyway under Sirleaf. We had it under Weah, and it's continued under His Excellency Joseph Boakai. So the issue we found with Weah is not in our category, not at all. And if we want to draw the line, maybe in subsequent platform, the contrast between Weah and President Boakai, I can tell you, probably some of us will bow our heads, because the difference between His Excellency President Boakai victory over Weah is just 20,000 votes. A slim, very, very slim majority. So what are we talking about here? Okay? This man almost won this thing. 20,000 difference. You can capitalize on that and say His Excellency President Boakai won overwhelmingly in Liberia. No, it's not true. This is the reason why I'm calling on him to reconcile the country, because it's 20,000 vote difference.
Okay.
Thank you.
We are almost out of time, but let me just bring in the Liberal here, and I get one piece to insight for us to just take on as Evelyn desire. Liberal, you heard what Dr. Malley said.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. So. For me, I just sometimes when I listen to Dr. Malley, I feel bad and I feel sad.
I know.
Wow.
Yes.
I know.
What are you talking about?
That everyday business.
The fact that you don't utilize the word daily does not negate the fact that that doesn't give you new meaning, because you don't use it every day.
What?
What did you say? He said we don't use regime. We don't use it every day, so it's not part of our.
But you know, we don't use it.
Dr. Malley, the Liberal is on the floor.
Let him make a point.
The Liberal, drink your water. I will cool you down. You think I have that? I'm friendship business. I have a kumbaya. Let me talk. Yeah. So the fact that you don't use the word the daily does not mean that the word is not there. That not anybody business. You got PhD and you don't use a regime every day. Damn, I can't help you again. I can't help you with that one. I can only help with people who don't have a GED. I can't help you with PhD, man. I'm unbelievable. But look, let's go further than that, Dr. Malley. Yes, indeed. President Boakai won by whatever margin you want to give us. He won. Yes, you're asking for a reconciled type government. He's doing that.
What?
You heard me. Sure? I'm not here to repeat myself. I speak one time, that's it. He's reconciling.
What church you can go?
We just had a counter meet.
What church you can go, Mr. You go to Terry Church?
Let us go.
Okay, well, I will be quiet until they finish disturbing me.
Okay, go ahead.
You can take control, if you're able to take control, you know they are really disturbing it. Not just the Liberal, but I'm a board chair. And you got to let these people know that when a board chair is on the floor, it should be given a due respect.
If you can't continue, I will go to Terry right now.
Mr. So, I'm just giving you what it is. Thank you. Now, as I stated, and I will say this again, President Boakai is reconciling the country. How many people in our city say they not fuel color in their town? The 20,000 you're talking about, what village in Liberia that got 20,000 people in it? In order for you to get 20,000 members in our society, you know how many towns you got to put together? You know how many chiefdoms you got to have to put together? And you're sitting there, 20,000. Well, you're in a negative 1% sitting there thinking people. I don't even see you. We won the election. You can marginalize the election as much as you want. We won, we whoop you, and we will govern transparently, responsibly, and the rescue team, there's nothing you can do to stop this train. President Waka is on the verge of really, really delivering. Now, just because I'm a liberal, I will help you guys on this here. If I were you, I won't add the CDC putting my foot in my mouth every night. This is what you need to do. President Waka talked about Donald Trump the other day. I will help you turn that around. Instead of using it as a way of trying to divide, turn it around. Say, okay, Mr. President, Donald Trump is here. Look what happened to USA ID. What are you going to do? This, I told you guys the last time, this is where you're going to see the genius that is within President Waka. He's going to use this opportunity when Donald Trump and his people come back and restore that. Liberia will be plus because he will already find means to bring in back some of the money. So when the money comes, it's an extra.
You're hoping he will do so. I know you're hoping he will do so. He won't do it.
He daydreaming.
After taking more money away.
You joined there now to disturb the ball.
Somebody is showing you where you can get 20,000.
You join, Mr. So you see you join them to disturb the ball when the ball is speaking. Okay, now I know. But let me just conclude on this here. It's late. I came in strictly to straighten you guys up, and I think I did that tonight as a liberal and a supporter of this president. This is what I want you guys to get out of you guys' mind. It's not like for us, whenever you say something about President Waka, we just jump up. We're not like sedition or washing. What really gets to me, people like me, is when you're talking about the president. I'm being very serious. And I will continue to say this. When you're talking about the president, first, he's old enough to be your father. Second, he's the president of the Republic of Liberia. We ourselves, when we were in this job, we respected the office because there's always something that I would say. I will not disrespect President George Weah because if I like somebody, the president becomes president tomorrow, and the president disrespected, I will not have the face to push back. And since I never disrespected President Weah, and since I never abused President Weah,
you sent Henry Costa to do it for you. You sent Costa to do it for you.
Okay, whatever. I will not sit here. Then you'll send Costa too. Now you'll do the other way. I will not sit here for any of you to come on this platform and try to be degrading to the president, try to be condescending to this president. We will push back, and we will push back strong. The friendship remains. I love you all, but I will not allow you to try to see, to make this president look like some kind of buku man. He's not. He's the father of the nation. He's doing a wonderful job. We'll continue to tell you that.
Okay,
thank you very much.
I don't know.
Please don't leave. Stay and hear what we got to tell you too. Don't leave.
He want to show himself when he departs. Then it shows that how they behave, that how they judge.
But wait now, look at their face. You see any kind of sheen on there?
Okay,
I'm gonna run away from all of you. I beg you. I'm gonna run away from you.
The stream that made you come 1 hour late.
My ain't feeling your mom. Your ain't feeling. I'll run away from you.
So we are about to do a close up, but you can and there's one thing I want to read me that I'm gonna throw in that, and you can also whatever you do before we can go a close up. I honestly the Spoon Network with the government, they have been very forceful. Does he have a political agenda? You can rule out the table. We saw something told the liberal son came the other day, being very empathetic, showing some sort of remorse. Whether it is genuine, whether it is authentic, we don't know. But it's like a backup plan now by the Unity Party that they can pivot. But there's no ways. Stenton's already took the show out of them. Does he have the credibility now? Can anybody go really back to him? Or is it just some sort of extraction, distraction is again being inserted into the conflict. What is he really saying? Can he Costa be trusted for anybody to do anybody that is work? Because I don't think Unity Party, the Mo Ali and the rest of the people, just how Eugene Nambwede can be trusted. It's the same way, even though those are the giants, they are the heroes for the liberal, which is okay. But what is happening here? What is Unity Party trying to do here? Are they trying to construct their own talking point to what? Get into it? But Stentons already have this, the Spoon Network already have the show that they cannot undo him. If they try to avoid him, it's very difficult. He has a lot on them. I would say perhaps real dirt on them. So are they seeking alternative to this whole thing here? Let me start with his father. Then and that would be your closing. Do you want to go now, or you want me to go to the other part?
I'll go now and then I'll leave.
No, don't leave. Don't leave.
Stay.
You leave, then you will stay. You will be the
Stay.
last. The boo will come from out of your
All
mouth.
right, I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you.
Okay.
But let me say this on a very
No,
serious.
no. It's I don't trust you again. You
So,
say
so
you-
I'm not going in.
Okay,
Like I
okay.
said, I'm not going to run away from you.
You
Okay,
run away.
Dr. Mother, I'll run away. Let me make my point very quick.
No, hold on. If I read, I will call. Keto.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I don't know what the liberal call disrespect. When somebody is
you're not talking.
I'm coming to the question. Liberal, give me chance for the
You can
independent.
tell him to close on what he wants to speak about.
Yeah.
Please.
Give
Go
me
ahead.
chance. When the independent speaking, then he speak. So I don't know what a liberal call disrespect. When a person who appear who's
don't even
supposed
trust
to
me
be
I think I'm gonna run.
Everybody know you. You're not stable. Go ahead, Keto.
so when a person who was given to Liberian people as a man with integrity, a man with experience who can get the ball rolling from day one, who's supposed to rescue the country and perform desperately, we call that ineptitude. He's inept. When a man who will take a sitting speaker came to room to meet the Pope, behind he had a coup, that's his vindictiveness. Those are not insult. So if you don't want people to tell you who the person you support, well, I'm sorry, when we're talking, just put cut into your ear. But we'll say it as it is. He's vindictive, he's inept, he has no good idea for our country, he's old, and I'm not saying old because we're all old, but he does not have the cognitive skill to rule our nation. A man who was introduced to a podium, walk away from the podium until his security guard will grab him and bring him back. Said no, he was sitting right before the podium. This tell you his level of mentality. Now, with the Henry Costa piece, you remember Henry Costa bashed President Weah before the election. After the election, he went back to Weah and appealed to Weah and told him sorry for everything in New York. They brought him on. He started to tell the people how we are this good man. We are doing this thing for the country. We are doing that thing for the country. When he could not get his way with the CDC folks, what he did, he somersaulted again and started to attack Weah. The United Party, and this is the sad thing about our political system now.
30 seconds, hold on.
Anybody can come and just say anything. Once they is saying it to entice you or to promote you, you're there for them. The next thing, when they switch, you're not there for them, and they go back and forth. Look, for me, my way of doing things is the same all year round. I love Weah. Nobody can take that from me. I would never say anything bad again, but I will be an independent person. That's it. I'm not going to change. So the way you hear me speak about President Weah, that's how it's going to be. I'm not a sedition. I'm an independent because I want to see Liberia move forward, and that's where I stand. But I love President Weah, period. I ain't changing. And I will not see it will be a disaster for Henry Costa to get on radio and try to debunk Stanton Witherspoon. Oh my God, it will be a disaster for Unity Party.
Okay. So J. Victor Nangwe. Just kept everything.
Thank you very much, Mr. So. Great show, guys. Thank you ever so much. I think we did a lot of justice to the topics. CEO Terry and the Liberal, they came here to take us off gear. You remember since they got here, we didn't talk anything else besides regime, definition of regime, what ECOWAS would do. So all the other important issues we're talking about, they distracted us. We put them on the side. That's what they came here to do. But it's okay. It's okay. The Liberian people know the issues now. I just want to talk to my young brother here, Mr. Keto. Again, I started saying, I know he loves President Weah. I love President Weah. Trust me, I love him as a person. I love him as a super, a mega soccer star. I like him, but the president business he not make it. I would say, he tried, but he not make it. He need to leave it. He not make it. And so those who are close to him, let them advise him. He can be productive and contribute to the country in many other ways, but let him forget that. And I said here, I don't believe I don't believe President Bouaka and former President Weah, are the only people who can help Liberia out of where we're in. I mean, I think it's a first choice. When people continue to say, Bouaka ain't make it, then then we have to come back. No, that's not what we're doing here. Both of them have had their chances. I hope President Bouaka will justify, his party being re-elected. But if he doesn't, the next option is not President Weah. There are a lot of options available. Alice Cummings is waiting in the wings. Diamond Gongo is waiting in the wings. The Southern Witherspoon you were talking about, who knows? Maybe he won't be president too. But I want the people to decide who will be their president. I don't think we should start spoon feeding them and start acting as if to say, if either Weah or Bouaka. I think it would be a disservice to the Liberian people. Give them the opportunity to decide, And as I'm leaving the stage, I just want to remind the liberal, I don't think anybody's disrespecting the president. I don't think Terry said anything that sounded disrespectful to the president. We just call it like it is. We're calling it like it is. The president has now led on many issues, including this issue at the legislature. This issue at the legislature that he's playing around with is a big issue. He needs to take seize of it and help us resolve it. The resolution in the president's hands. Thank you very much for the show.
I don't know what sort of resolution. It's already out of hand.
Well, yeah, let him call the boys in.
How many minutes you gonna give him?
Why you let him interrupt me? I was trying to close out. All right, go ahead. But you're not even coming in yet. CEO got to tell who coming next, not you.
Terry,
not the board chairman yet. That board chairman doesn't put it down tonight.
Terry, let me hear you.
Mr. So President Bouaka have the skills of leadership because he was able to bring together critical minds from various divide and set them into perspective, and he won the election, as Liberal said. One of the formidable candidates that have been surviving all elections for a couple of years. President Bouaka put a dent in his ability to enjoy a second term. A former football legend, one of the most popular Liberians, President Bouaka.
The most, not one of. President Weah, the
most popular Liberians, and the only black African to become world best, President Weah. JMB put a dent in his politics. That is the reason why Keto then hate JMB. When you see Keto speaking, he vink and one boss. Because they understand how the old man they can't understand breakable. They can't understand how the old man were able to beat President Weah on the field of play and score. You understand? So I get where they're coming from. But this party is able to fix it. Why? Because he was able to bring critical minds together. That the late Prince Johnson, and other guys, to bring them together to help him to win. So we must understand that President Bouaka is leading critical group of Liberians. it is a very tough thing because we get people that the likes of Musa Belete. These are people that can cause serious havoc. We got the likes of many other guys under President Boykott's leadership. So this leadership is going to fix it. Whether you got lucky or not, he's going to fix it. Every damage that has been caused is going to be fixed. And let me tell you the reason why you're hearing most of the politics going all over the place. It's simply because this government is not paying journalists that the previous government. The previous government used to pay those beginners to handle news so that
even here in the United States, we know that. Yeah, even here in the United States, we know that.
Yeah. And you see Costa, whether you like him or not, Costa is a weapon. And for JMB to reconcile, and that is why JMB is meticulous. You got to be very careful. Because JMB, you know, the late Charles Taylor told President Weah one time, after that game, he told him, he said, they man won't be president. Everybody said that lie. Today, it never happened. JMB know that Stanton Waterspoon want to be president. All right? So he preparing the ammo. There is nobody that Henry Costa, when he make a man to go for you, that you will not for. Nobody. So that ammo bearer, that ammo is seated and waiting. And the time will come for that particular weapon to be used. And I think that was a right move. Again, we're playing a chess game. Politics is all about chess. It's a chess game. You have to know how to push that particular queen or whatsoever on the chessboard. And I believe JMB is taking his time in handling it. Within the fullness of time, when things begin to unveil itself, we will see. But I strongly believe that JMB is going to fix it. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Male?
Well, the platform has taken the trend of a funeral. It's a very sad moment in the dying moment of this of the platform. It's like almost like the day when John F. Kennedy was shot, you know. It's very sad. But anyway,
you talk about your platform.
that's you guys made the platform very sad in the last meeting. You're making it sad.
Show, and you say
you know what I'm saying? The liberal and his congregation make the platform sad in the dying hours.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, only 2%.
Almost like the day. I say you're making it sad. You didn't make it great. But anyway, let's start with Costa. Costa is stigmatized. And the Liberian people don't forget when you are stigmatized. I want good thing about it. They apply the same analysis on Kumi, and he got stuck somewhere. We can analyze that on another platform. Furthermore, back to liberal. Respect is earned. It's not demanded. It's not commended by executive degree.
We will force it out of here.
All right.
Will you stop disrupting, please?
Give me a chance now.
That's how we don't boss a speaker to here, please.
Yeah.
We talk one at a time.
You are just crying foul on this platform.
Respect is not earned by both chairmanship title. Let me speak.
And secondly, I don't think the platform guests are prepared at any time to dignify traditional or cultural politics where the president become a king. No, we're in the 21st century. The president can't be a king or a paramount chief. No, we're dressing in accordance with his office, irrespective of his age. Now we are focusing on an agenda setting and addressing issues. So if you are not ready for politics, get back to His Excellency. You shouldn't have gotten inside. 1. 2.
Oh my goodness.
People in Liberia
can't call him a PhD, primitive PhD. Where you get that from?
Well, no problem. Maybe he envy. He haven't gotten one yet, but that's fine.
I don't even got GED.
People in Liberia, they do not decide who to become president in Liberia. It is the prevailing circumstances that cause the people to move in certain direction. 1, the people are poor. 2, they're not concerned about platform or manifesto. 3, if you go carry survey in Liberia now, the people say our water issue is not being addressed. They measure bearing road and not bearing road. So the people are even insensitive when it comes to development. So the circumstances will determine the direction of the voters in Liberia. So Georgia cannot be ruled out. Maybe the next time when we meet on this platform, we will have to make a clear demarcation. Why Georgia were carrying the country in the wrong direction, and what are some of those indicators in President Wiase's 100 days or 1 year? There are a lot of indication in this thing here that we can't just let it go.
Thank
right?
you.
Yes.
All right.
And so finally, Libra, I'm not on your show, please. You're a board chair. Now you're forcing us to unleash respect. It doesn't come that way. I think the best advice of His Excellency was to just stay with the people of Lofa and do the traditional thing, lead us politics, because we're in the 21st century. And we got to deal with issue detail by detail. We're respecting he's our president, we're getting our honor, but when it comes to the issues, tradition and culture cannot be part of it.
Okay, well, so what a great conversation that Terry Collins, Wotton Ketot, Dr.
Mr. So,
why are you interrupting me?
Mr. So, let me speak my own.
Hold on.
No, but you already closed.
Why you calling me speak my own? We are extremely out of time. We have to go. Wednesday when we come here.
CEO, please get a boat chair 5 seconds.
I said, CEO, instead of giving a boat chair,
enough is enough. The same thing what they did to co-founder.
Is it the co-host hat that you're supposed to be using?
Yeah. But let me say this, Victor. When I want to knock Dr. Mali off of his train of thought, then I come out with primitive PhD. Then he goes Sakutule all the way. Look at the way the men were counting. He said number 1. He put 3 figures.
Libra,
are you
jealous of my credential?
I know, right? That game piece of
Are you jealous of my credential? I took almost 7 years to get a credential.
So
are you jealous?
In my case, I said number 1, 3 fingers. Let Dr. Malley be serious. Look, let me say this. When it comes to Costa and Witherspoon, first of all, they're friends. Let's get that out of the way. And secondly, Unity Party or any other political party would not want to see Witherspoon and Costa going at it, because that would be disaster for any government in power or any government coming to life or even the Republic of Liberia. These two people have so much destructive information about our country that if they allow them to unleash on each other, nobody will want to have anything to do with Liberia. And because of that, it's not going to happen. What I also want to say is this. President Barker, the fact that he has allowed himself to be, he's not vindictive, as Walter Carter would say. If you are vindictive, he won't allow Costa to come back in full. And Costa coming back in full, that process was made possible also by the involvement of Witherspoon. So you see, they will not fight each other. They will gain out on any political party or any individual who will want to pretend to be the leader of the Republic of Liberia when they know they have nothing to offer. And that Witherspoon and Costa have something on you, they will gain out on you and you'll be done. Now, with respect to President Baka, when I say respect, yeah, respect is you can earn it. But 40 some more years of experience in government, he has earned a plus.
Oh, come on.
You can't throw that aside. You only have PhD for 2 months and you want me to call you WDPD and all kind of stuff. How much more the men who been working 40 some more years in the government? It is unacceptable. And I will always say, Nabe, yes, indeed, you guys can come out and hold the president's feet to the fire. But here's the interesting thing. All of you know the language. You are an educated person. The language to use to make sure the president's feet is held to the fire. And you know what to say. But if you go beyond that and you want to come out and try bringing Prophet Key type of description, then we'll push back. Because that is not something we're willing to take.
Okay,
We
well,
fought
we
hard
gotta leave
for
it.
this government, and this government, the rescue on President Baka will happen. President
gotta
Baka
leave
is in it for the Liberian people. President Baka is not here to go. Look at Walter Carter just completely distanced himself from the truth again here today. Before Walter Carter stood on the same platform, I'm a sedition, he said. But most of all he said, I'm a reaction. Today he comes out here on this platform to distance himself from the truth, to say, I'm not a sedition. Who will believe you? You can't sit on behind him in Connecticut with glasses on.
I always said it.
Nobody will believe
said
you.
it.
You are a sedition. You
I
are
said-
a reaction. And we'll deal with you from that perspective. Mr. So, beautiful show, but I think tomorrow is a holiday. Hopefully I'll be done with my car and I will come on in the proper gear to make sure that the show, a liberal show tomorrow. Where I will
What kind of
give
holiday is
everybody.
tomorrow?
Huh?
What kind of holiday is tomorrow?
I don't know. They say the holiday I work there. Oh, I know.
I think
we rename it show?
President Day.
And they say don't come to where I say okay.
Okay, guys.
But thank you for a wonderful show, Mr. So. Again, do not. You are the CEO of this program. Don't allow the people to come and undercut the bull power. I got power. You know I got power. It's my power.
But see, why you get a bull all the butcher all the time?
Because I'm the bull chair. Thank you very much.
Tomorrow your show will be called Regine Show. Regine Show.
All right, folks.
Whatever show. Thank you very much for the show.
Women war for this, for our country. We are not like those other type, the liberal, turn your face cap around, come here to hypocrisy from this party to this party, seeking political shelter. But coming soon here, so we talk development. In as much we criticize this government, we also talk about we have big vision for the country. So let's take a look at this and we'll be with Sana.
Hello and welcome to Lpr-Tv newest program titled Developing Liberia. Developing Liberia will come your way every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Your producer is Dr. Jones Malay and CEO Alfonso Zionso at control. Developing Liberia will focus on the way forward on how Liberia can be developed. Developing Liberia will include, but not limited to, the definition of development from Liberians' perspective. We will take a holistic panorama view of Liberia development since 1847 to 1980, and from 2006 up to present under successive Liberian governments. We shall also be tempted to ask why Liberia is or is not developed and how Liberia can be developed, followed by recommendations among others. Developing Liberia is a non-panelist oriented platform presentation. However, it will entertain phone calls and discussional exchanges on the topic under review. Developing Liberia is anticipated to touch down running on this platform on Sunday, March 9th, 2025. Lpr-Tv believes in new ideas and positive innovations and doing things differently.
Developing Liberia is non-partisan and non-xenophobic. Please tune in to a program where all your phone calls
developing Liberia. We got a big vision for the country.
Non-panelists.
Will you please stop disrupting me, please? We're going to take. They said they're going to take phone calls. They're not going to sanction phone calls. Unlike other people who are doing this.
Well,
this is destroying Liberia.
I want to ask Dr. Malley. Dr. Malley, when you said you said something.
The liberal. We can't do this.
No, let me just ask this one
question.
No.
This is how you do, and this is how you run government. You want to do it. The program has
He
ended.
said we will be tempted.
Okay.
Does it require to talk about Liberia development? Does it require temptation to ask this question? Why will you be tempted?
Just how it require regime to lead, he can be tempted to ask you questions. So we're not going to let it get right. Don't even go there. Well, folks, that's how we're going to leave it today. We're going to have Mr. Collins. Thank you so much. Wilton Ketter, you took sleeping tablet or what?
I'm not sleeping. I know what posts are sleeping. When you see man, no, I'm not.
Okay.
The man got JB Abo.
Are you meditating hard, Joy? We will come by, eh?
I think on the Regine show tomorrow.
The Regine show. Okay, guys, how we're going to do it. But again, our prayers and thought goes out to one of our strong followers, very interactive, always share her ideas. Mrs. Pratt Esther, her daughter will be laid to rest on the 20th. I chatted with her briefly this morning. Our prayers and thought goes out to her heart. We're doing everything possible. Hopefully, it will be a perfect opportunity to see. Like I said, she's always involved in time of. This is one to show concern. So we are hoping to make room somehow, some way to be part of that as our support.
Thank you.
We miss her here. And she always very engaged. Fatu, you cause Lpr to come to be disrupted. That is okay. You say we'll be fine. He's taking rest. Unfortunately, he did not get a rest. He decided to come here this evening. But I will see them. By their fruit we shall know them. Let them keep pecking, let them keep babysitting this old man that would have, the same people that did it here, they said Donald Trump will change, Donald J. You cannot change an 82-year-old man. His age is his age. It comes to a lot of things. Liberal and still keeping hope. That is okay. But the action, these comments coming from this junta speaker validates, is a clear indication that this administration.
He didn't say junta. You see, you're coming.
Regime is synonymous to a junta way of behaving. That's
no. You see that? That what you do. You coming out your own on it.
I tell you.
He said, "You want to hear what he said? I'm a regime. What is it? If you look at the war regime, I don't want to relegate this here. The connotations of that war speak for itself. Terry King,
CEO going too far. Why is it that they don't refer to His Excellency Joseph Boakai government? Why they don't use that war regime? Why you don't use it? Why you never used that war before? Joseph Boakai regime.
Because like you say, we don't know it, we don't practice it, we don't say everything.
No, because it's not applicable. It's just not applicable. This is a democratic elected government. We call it the government.
And now you know. Now you know we didn't come through the back door. We came from the front door.
That has not been the argument.
This is a democratic. We say government all the time. Regime. It's not normal. It's not a normal occurrence. It's not frequently said.
But that
So
racial
you saying-
expression,
Oh,
that
let-
Why
had
you
been
people are not
expressed is
expressing?
a
Liberal.
good.
Why you people have
Liberal.
been wasting time? Why you
Liberal.
people are not
Yeah.
expressing on
Let's
on,
turn
on, on
this
the
camera
government?
off.
Why?
Let's turn this camera off.
Huh?
Regime.
Why you are not expressing on Joseph Baka government, Joseph Baka regime, Joseph Baka? Why you have not said it?
Go ahead. What's
Let
your
me
question?
ask you. What I'm asking, is it acceptable in a democratic setting for a senior government, supposedly to be the number 3 person, to refer to a certain government that he works for to say a regime?
I want to advise Richard Combs to make that statement. I don't agree with it, but that does not mean he does not have the right to say it. That does not make him anything foreign or anything like that. He has the right to say it, and this is what he believes in.
But can you correct Terry?
So you condone it? You accept it? You condone it?
Well, what I accepted or not is, look, this is what all of you need to understand. When you are in a group setting, the group take precedent over individual. And so when a group in a group setting, whatever the group is saying is what is.
Oh, okay. That's the group of the case is called. Joseph Boyka and his group set a priority. Like this is a regime. Richie Kuhn,
Good night. Good night. If you're
put
not
your
going to
your
take,
left hand up and be the speaker and let everything come and go through. Thank you. Good to hear validated our argument. Let's go and see how we're going to get to the end of this marathon. And this idea, all of you continue to protect your own, that is okay. It's good for Liberia. All right, gentlemen, have a pleasant, good Sunday.
good night, Mr. So. Good night, Dr. Mali. Good night, Will Takata. Good night, Terry.
Good night, Libra. Good night, Mr. So.
Good night, Keta. Okay, Dr. Mali, good night as well. Okay, well, folks, that's how we're going to leave it here this evening. By God's willing, same time, same stations. We're going to be back here. Tomorrow is Monday. If the Liberal doesn't come in, we want to sit here and have this. A lot is ongoing. We need to have this conversation in a fair, balanced context. We'll have to speak what we need to say, not necessarily to appease you because you want to hear it. But I think people must wake up and stand up to the task and speak out the truth, because these things, they have a propensity to derail the good process that we are all enjoying. This is why someone from somewhere within the system should be able to raise their finger if something is not going right, to frown, to speak against those. We did that in the past, and we must do it again. There's a huge danger and price involved in ignoring the complete rule of law, to cede the first branch of government, to disregard, to disabuse, to denounce the constitutions. Yes, you have the right to remove, to impeach the speaker, but there's a process involved. There's a system in place, and that was completely ignored, and this is what we are talking about. If the seat is declared vacant, 60 days is required. It is within their own laws. You can just grab somebody from the hotel and come and put their left hand up and declare them speaker, only to come and tell us that they are regime speaker. It is absurd, it is ridiculous, and every good Liberian who believes in the democratic tendency must denounce and reject that. We note the outcome of regime. Regime is not a word that you really tie in with democratic government. We know the attitudes, we know how authoritarian they are when it comes to regime. So the president and the Unity Party government must come out to disassociate themselves with this sort of ridiculous statement coming from Richard Cohn.
Push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today, an opposition speaker will not push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today, I'm the regime speaker. So today, I'm the regime speaker.
May God bless Liberia. today, making a full declaration. Today, I am your regime speaker. And he's not telling us, I am the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia, a leader of the lower house of government. I am a regime speaker. We need to have our own. They are divided our country. We are having a divided Liberia. Yes, you are a unity partisan. It's glaring. It is known. You contested in the past. And every certain president does want to have a speaker for his agenda to go, but it is done politically. The president, and I said this, the president could place a phone call. You can do whatever you want to do politically, reward people in the house. It's all about the numbers. But they didn't do their due diligence. It was hastily done, and it wasn't done correctly. And this is why it's going to be a big political dent on this president with a long time experience. And that's why Kofi is refusing to resign. Not that it is his entitlement, but it was done wrongly. And there are people who needs to stand up for the good of the country. But let's watch and see what's going to happen having a regime speaker. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.